Long before skyscrapers pierced the sky, long before battles were fought for liberty, long before the name America was ever whispered, there were nations. Not European colonies, but vibrant civilizations: the Iroquois, the Sioux, the Cherokee, the Pueblo. This was their land. For over 15,000 years, Native Americans lived across the continent, farming, hunting, building cities like Cahokia, and developing spiritual systems that connected them to the land. This was a world far older than Columbus, a world that would soon collide with one from across the Atlantic. 1490 to Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and although he never touched what is now the US, his voyage changed everything. Within decades, the Spanish, French, Dutch, and English carved out pieces of the New World. But this discovery came at a devastating cost: disease, war, and displacement reduced native populations by the millions. By the 1700s, 13 English colonies stretched along the Atlantic coast. Each had its own flavor: Puritan New England, tobacco-rich Virginia, Quaker-founded Pennsylvania. But one thing united them: growing resentment of British rule. No taxation without representation became their cry. And so, in 1775, muskets were raised. The American Revolution had begun. In 1776, a radical idea shocked the world: that all men are created equal. The United States was born. But that ideal clashed with a dark reality. Slavery was still deeply rooted, and native lands were taken through treaties and force. Yet the nation expanded: Louisiana Purchase, Oregon Trail, Texas annexation. Manifest destiny, they called it, the belief that America was destined to stretch from sea to shining sea. But the issue of slavery split the country in two. North versus South, free versus slave. In 1861, the Civil War erupted, the deadliest conflict in US history. Over 600,000 died, cities burned, brothers fought brothers. In 1865, the Union prevailed. Slavery was abolished, but the scars would linger for generations. Rebuilding the South proved difficult. Black Americans faced new forms of oppression: segregation, lynching, Jim Crow laws. But America was changing. Factories rose, railroads crisscrossed the land. Immigrants from Ireland, Italy, China poured in, chasing the American dream. By the early 1900s, America wasn't just a nation, it was an industrial giant. America entered the world stage with World War I, but it was World War II that transformed it. After Pearl Harbor in 1941, the US mobilized like never before. Factories churned, troops landed in Europe and the Pacific. By 1945, Hitler was dead, and America stood tall, not just victorious, but powerful. With power came rivalry. The Cold War with the Soviet Union shaped the second half of the 20th century. Nuclear threats, proxy wars in Korea and Vietnam, and a race to the moon. Meanwhile, within the nation, Black Americans marched for civil rights, led by voices like Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X. The nation was forced to reckon with its own promises of equality. The 1990s brought prosperity and the Internet revolution. But the 21st century began with a shock: the September 11th attacks. Everything changed: new wars, new fears, and a new digital age. Politics grew polarized. Social movements exploded. America remained powerful, but divided. Proud, yet questioning its path. America is not just a place, it's an idea: bold, flawed, evolving. From stolen land to superpower, from civil war to civil rights. From the frontier to the final frontier, the story of America is still being written by dreamers, dissenters, builders, and believers. This is the history of America, not perfect, but powerful, and the journey isn't over yet. Like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Whispers of the Past for more untold stories from history's vault.